Hi, how are you today? My name is Timothy Barton, the Executive Sous Chef at the Ottawa Marriott Hotel. Today I'm going to be presenting for you one of my twists on a Caesar salad. The elements in this dish, I have double smoked bacon, which I've already laid out flat, pressed between two baking trays to keep it nice and flat, and baked in the oven about 350 degrees for about 5 or 10 minutes until it's nice and crisp. I've also made a Parmesan twill with freshly grated Reggiano Parmigiano. I have hearts of romaine. I have a Caesar dressing, which is essentially a garlic aioli with anchovies and capers and white wine vinegar. And to make the twill, what I've done is I've shredded the fresh Reggiano Parmigiano and I've laid it out on a baking tray as such, nice and uniform, patted it down a little bit, and then I threw it right in the oven, 350 degrees, for about 5 or 6 minutes. And essentially what it's going to do is it's going to bubble down, and it gives it the kind of holy texture that you have right here. Once it gets this golden brown color, you want to take it out of the oven right away. Let it sit for no more than maybe 10 or 15 seconds, because once it gets too cool, then it's going to crisp up on you so that it can maintain its shape. You want to take it off, use a pair of tongs, you just peel it off, and then you can wrap it around the outside of a coffee mug or a glass, preferably something without a handle, and you just wrap it around the outside, and you let it sit, and then it will solidify in about 4 or 5 minutes. Once it's solidified, you can gently just pull the glass out, and then you've got a nice Parmesan twill. So I'm going to cut this about just over halfway down, and I'm going to separate the leaves. And again, you use the hearts of romaine, the core of the lettuce, because that's where the crispest, freshest lettuces are. And you have some larger ones, you've got some smaller ones. They're a little bit big and a little bit flimsy like this one. I'm not going to use this because I really need structural integrity in these leaves to be able to stand up and present nicely. So now this is where I get a little bit dirty. I'm going to put the dressing in, and you want to make sure you get the dressing evenly coated on these leaves. Because they're almost in a cup shape naturally, it has a tendency to pool the dressing in the rib of the lettuce. You really don't want too much dressing in the ribs of those lettuce, because then you bite and you get way too much dressing in one bite. It doesn't displace the flavors nicely. And then you're going to start to sort of assemble it in your hands, making sure all the tops are pointing up. You can put the big ones on the outside and the little ones on the inside, however you want to manipulate this lettuce. But you basically want to make a nice little bouquet with your romaine hearts. So, to construct the rest of this dish, I'm going to use a little bit of balsamic glaze, which is you take a bottle of balsamic vinegar, you reduce it right down until it's bubbling and frothy, you take it off, you add a little bit of honey to it, gives a little bit of sweetness, and then when it cools down, you get a nice sticky texture. So I'm just going to run a bit of this over top of the plate. This will also complement this dish because the contrast of the Caesar dressing with a little bit of the sweetness and then the smokiness of the bacon really goes nicely together. So at this point, I'm going to put my twill right on the plate. I'm going to bring my lettuces over, form them into a nice little bouquet. Again, nice and even dressing. And we're going to slide it right down into the twill. Now again, if you wanted, you could tilt this sideways, slide it through. I prefer to have it standing up. Then I've got our bacon crisp, and I'm just going to lay that right on top. And then you got a nice fun presentation on a Caesar salad